All right, folks, it is September 9th, 2024, and we have an XRP full market update for you guys lined up here. I want to get right on into this because we have so much to cover. Monday, the markets open back up, and we are moving back up to the upside today. And I'm recording this here on a late night session. It's 8:30 on the West Coast, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. So I appreciate those of you guys that are still awake and going to join me. And for those of you guys that watch this tomorrow morning when you guys wake up, I appreciate you as well. I want to get started out by reminding everybody that we did just update, or I should say I did just update my XRP exit strategy for 2024, this current bull run. Life has changed. The world has changed around us. The XRP timeline has changed. And so I did drop a update exclusively for my Patreon, breaking down all of my sell targets for XRP. I have 5 sell targets. And I updated my community on when I'm going to be selling and what allocations I'm going to be making when that time does come. I wanted to provide full transparency for the community on where and when I'm going to be making moves on XRP this bull run. It's going to be coming in quick. I know when it comes, we're going to be celebrating, having ourselves a good time. So I think that we should all be developing our exit strategy for all of our assets, particularly the cryptocurrency ones that move so quickly. We know it's coming this bull run. I'm going to show you guys some charts here later in this episode, and all lining up perfectly at moments of mass capitulation where folks lose conviction, lose faith, forget fundamentals, and unfortunately during this time we see a recession, we see a broader margin call liquidity crisis that's actually forcing people to sell XRP even though they haven't lost faith or conviction. That's the sad part, and that's why I put out content here on a daily basis to make sure that we're all tapped in, prepared, and ready to ride out this storm so that we're not having to sell our assets, sell our XRP, sell our silver or gold to be able to, pay for our lives, feed our families, keep the business afloat, and miss selling at the targets that we have set forward that are coming this bull run. It's going to be a tough squeeze making it through, but once we see, I think a new administration, new Congress, a new wave of liquidity coming in, no matter who does get elected, we will see that money printer turn back on. We want to make sure that we can survive till 2025. I think some good things are coming right around the corner, but let's get started here, taking a look at the market. So we were back up today. You got a daily chart that we're looking at here, 56,000, all the way up to 58 actually for Bitcoin earlier today. Now, as I'm recording this, we're at 56.6. We'll watch it for Ethereum. 2,400 was nearly hit. Chilling out right now at 2,300. For XRP, it was up to 54 cents briefly, back down to 53.5 right now. These are going to be times I think that we're going to look back and wish, man, I wish I would have stocked a lot more of this. Now, the talking head pundits on CNBC, what are they running with now? Finance Lot shares this. They are now calling for a selective recession where everyone gets screwed except the wealthy. So basically a typical recession. And this is why I've been describing this as the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, but not everybody gets on the right side. And this is why I've been pounding my table, providing my analysis, and trying to inspire folks to get a game plan established, a program established that's going to make sure that you're not left on the wrong side of this transfer of wealth. The typical recession here where the wealthy do fine, the wealthy get bailed out, the systemically important banks get bailed out, while the small little guys, well, you already know what happens. And this is what we're seeing here with, speaking of big lots, not a little guy, but a rather big retailer. U.S. discount retailer with 1,400 stores is now filing for bankruptcy as the stock halves in value in minutes. So we better flip that circuit breaker off. Massive selling coming in on big lots, one of many companies that we're going to see going through a restructuring bankruptcy process. And in fact, I've seen this in my own business. For those of you guys who don't know my backstory, I have a property service business, and then I have this media company as well. And the baby monitor is going off here on me. I do have the baby monitor. I am multitasking right now. Put the little ones to sleep. That's why my live show is starting so late. Daddy duties, So here we are. But I'm seeing this in my own business where we have a property service business and a media company. In the property service business, I get to work for these companies, right? And so I'm selling and lining up contracts for these companies. And we've actually fired some of our clients lately because we see the writing on the wall. We see the liquidity crisis and them, they're sending out a notice to us and they say, hey, Can we take payments from 45 days? And these are, companies that already pay late all the time, right? They put you on 30, 45 days, 60-day payment terms, and then they're still late. And then out of the blue, we get a message that says, hey, because of current market conditions, that was their exact quote. Because of market conditions, we would like to extend, or they didn't even say it wasn't an option. We're going to be extending our payment terms from 45 days to 75 days. And I said, yes, thank you very much. I know how this goes. You're fired. Send the check for the last bill. See you later. Property hasn't been serviced since. It looks like a jungle. And I expect that big box retailer, which I will not name, and I plan on making a video at some point where I'll go stand in the parking lot and I'll, make one of those videos. And it reminds me of Economic Ninja. For those of you guys who know Economic Ninja, Real Estate Ninja, Travis. He's always making videos in front of Home Depot with his cardboard cutout. That's going to be me in front of this big box retailer. I'm going to tell you guys the full story. But I'm seeing this liquidity crisis on the front end. And I'm not playing around with these guys. You're fired. See you later. Send the last check. Thank you for doing business with you. I see the writing on the wall, and it's Big Lots. It's all these other big box retailers. We are so far away from this crisis being over. It is laughable, and it's honestly, it is completely dishonest for JP Morgan to be coming out here and saying that the Japan carry trade's 75% unwound. That's a joke. And the Japan carry trade is just the tip of the iceberg, part of a global margin call, extending all the way to big box retailers like Big Lots filing for bankruptcy. Rite Aid just finally finished their bankruptcy. And guess who was part of that bankruptcy claim process? Yours truly. When I say I've been going through this process, and I'm seeing it firsthand. And I wish I could tell you guys more, but as I'm going through these processes, trying to get paid, I can't put these companies on blast. But there's going to be more where that comes from. I'll tell you that right now. Now, let's get on into it, folks. So when it comes to this new system, when it comes to restructuring, this is what gets me excited. And this is what I want to be accelerating towards. Instead of dealing with all these other guys that are trying to screw me over, let's talk about who's going to be setting things right, resetting this system, establishing a new financial system, and moving humanity forward. Now, I'm not here to say that BRICS and everybody that's part of BRICS is the best countries ever, that they do no wrong, that there is no harm, and that these countries don't screw out their own citizens before they try to reset and restructure, which is exactly what they're going through. See, these countries have to go through a reset, restructure, revaluation. Although they wish they could extend it out like we are doing here in the United States by kicking the can down the road, these countries don't have that option. And so the BRICS countries are now unveiling a 40% gold-backed digital unit of account or currency at Kazan in October 2020. The 22nd through the 24th is going to be when this next BRICS meeting takes place. For those thinking that the dollar would be around forever, you have been notified. Make your plans accordingly. Now, this is speculation. Now, the source of this, I'll show you guys here real quick, is TASS.com. And it's kind of a sketchy source, and I'm not going to say that this is 100% certain, but we're starting to see the rumors circulating about what that BRICS unit of account or currency is going to be. How big of a backing of gold is it going to have? 20%, 40% is yet to be seen. But we are approaching this date, October 22nd to the 24th. And you got to think, too, about what this is going to do as far as forcing the hand against the United States, who's trying to prop up the dollar, who's trying to keep the reserve currency, the countries around the world dropping our treasuries, dropping our dollar, and they're now doing trade outside of our currency. With or without us, they are moving forward. And this is why we have to be moving. Otherwise, we're going to be completely left behind. Now, speaking of being left behind, folks, I hate to even try to make a joke about this because this is no laughing matter. This is absolutely no joke. And I'm really upset about what has happened in this situation. It pains me to report this, but you guys know this is my duty. And so I'm going to bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly. In this case, it's absolutely terrible. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the update that we just got from Link2 in regards to PolySign. Now, a huge shout to Vite Vin for sharing this. He shared this email that he received. And so I want to say thank you for him for sharing this publicly. But it's now been released here. We are following up to share our communications. We are following up to share communications we have received from PolySign. So this is a email from Link2 that's been sent out this evening. This is breaking within the last couple hours. PolySign CEO Jack McDonald has informed us that absent receiving any sale proceeds from efforts to monetize PolySign's custody and or AtomicNet software, the company currently expects that only Series C shareholders would receive any consideration in the event of a liquidation of PolySign. What does that mean? It means that essentially, if PolySign custody is able to, along with their AtomicNet software, is able to sell off in a liquidation, basically, they're closing their doors. In the event that they were able to receive any sort of monetization, receive any sort of funds, the only people that can expect anything would be the Series C shareholders. As previously detailed, Link2 and its members do not own and are not invested in Series C shares of PolySign. This is not good news, folks. We have not yet received any further updates regarding PolySign's efforts to monetize its remaining assets. However, in accordance with our shareholder rights under California law, Link2 has sent a formal shareholder information request for access to and or copies of multiple PolySign financial and corporate records. We will update our members on material developments relating to this request. So as this comes out, I will be reporting anything that does come out publicly. Link2 filing and sending a formal shareholder request for financial records and corporate records. We will see what comes of this. But as of right now, it looks like your PolySign private equity shares have basically become worthless. And anything that does come of this will only be, monetized and provided to Series C shareholders, Class C shareholders. Series C. Sorry. Very unfortunate news. This is an opportunity that I was looking at investing in myself. Many people within our community have already invested in this as well. And now we see that this is one of many investments here that's come across. This one now going to zero. Now, I'm going to be putting out a separate video on this, going into this whole situation more in depth, a full follow-up update on PolySign. And it's going to be titled something along the lines of XRP Investors Beware. Why am I going to title it that? Because it's the only way that I'm going to be able to amplify and get views on this video, because anything that's not XRP doesn't sell. Anything that's not XRP doesn't do well. And so, and I want to bring it back to a point, which is that XRP investors do need to beware, do need to be cautious, do need to be conducting due diligence on any investments that come across our desk. Just like PolySign, just like many others that are going to come across our desk, when we start to see this bull run come through, when us XRP holders have a little bit more money, when XRP goes to our targets, we sell off, and then we're looking at real estate, we're looking at private equity, we're looking at starting a business. We need to understand that we're not going to win them all. Now, many of the adults in the room here, many in our community understand, and I've already spoken with a few people in our community about this. We're adults. We're investing in private equity. We understand it can go to zero. We understand the risk. We have the tolerance for this risk, or at least hopefully you do. Hopefully you did before you made this investment, because this is one that we're going to have to write off, unfortunately. But this is a learning moment for all of us, myself included, because I was this close to investing in PolySign. I was so close. In our due diligence process, I backed out of the deal and I ended up not investing in PolySign. Unfortunately, there's many people in our community that did invest in this, and I think that they had plenty of evidence to invest in this. I'm not saying that anybody that did this was necessarily doing anything wrong. Many people were conducting due diligence, and with the information that we were able to access, it looked like a good deal. It looked very, very interesting and compelling. It really did. But now we see this is one that goes to zero. There's been many on Link2 that have done incredible returns. When you look at the Coinbase pre-IPO, Link2 got investors pre-IPO equity for Coinbase. Coinbase went public. Many of those investors were able to make really good exits. I think some of those investors got 5, 10x returns on that investment on Coinbase. In the case here of Link2, it's going to be a zero. It's going to be a write-off. Really unfortunate, but it's a learning moment. It's a learning experience for all of us involved, myself included. Now, we can't hang our heads on this one. We got to write this one off, and then we got to get back to the next deal that's going to come across our desk. There is so much opportunity, and we can't let this one beat us up. But with that said, it's a learning experience. We're going to continue to look, and I'm going to continue to report on any other additional information that we do get. Now, I do want to say thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you for the 5 spot. Been thinking about this. So the logical next question is, what class of Ripple stock are the Link2 sales? Ripple just called all round C equity. Yeah, this is something that we all need to be looking into, right? Is what series, what class of investors are you? What counterparty risk are we exposed to, right? When it comes to Link2, you're investing in SVPs or SPVs, I should say, that own the shares of the company. So you have risk with Link2 and you have risk with the company. Now, I've been very impressed with Link2. I will say, they're not a sponsor of mine. I do have my affiliate link for Link2 because folks that want to get access to them, we might as well hook them up. But we've always said, this is a very risky deal. We wish that more people could get access to this. But the reason why the securities laws are the way they are is because of this exact reason. They are risky investments. I am a freedom advocate. I am a libertarian. I am a government, get the hell out of my way. I don't need you to protect me. If I want to invest in a private equity deal and that company goes to zero, I'm going to put my big boy pants on and say, oh, darn it, I lost. That's the same thing that happens in business. When I get sent to the, a bankruptcy process with a big box store that I won't name. And here I am. See, you guys don't even understand. You guys don't get it. People think the red folder is just a meme for XRP. I live a red folder life. I have a folder in my desk. It's right next to me. That's for me having to deal with going through a bankruptcy process in my dang property service business. Let alone the other folders that I got. I got one for ETHgate. I got one for my as I start to build out my real estate investment portfolio, I'm starting to build one out there. This, and I kind of make a joke about it and I kind of laugh because this is the game. If you want to win big, you got to be willing to take risk. And you got to be willing to take a big fat L. And I don't want the government to have protected me, And unfortunately, what we see is that even though the government says we're here to protect you, they don't protect anybody. They never show up and stop. Okay. The SEC with the current securities laws only allowed accredited investors to get access to this private equity opportunity. Well, they didn't stop the company from failing. They didn't stop the company from going to zero. In the case of the Ripple SEC lawsuit, right? The judge has ruled that the investment contracts are the ones with institutions. So the ones that are getting the protection of the securities laws are the accredited and sophisticated investors, not the retail investors. How does that make sense? Can you make it make sense? No, you can't. And that's why I say, let's just get the government out of the way and allow those that are going to fail. And this is the unfortunate part, is because we have so much crony capitalism and corruption and a lack of free market allowed to thrive, we don't have companies that should fail fast enough. The companies that are going to go to zero would go faster in a capitalist system. But we have this crony capitalism, bail out your buddies, keep the party going, and allow your buddies to, go from one fraud to the next, instead of allowing these companies that deserve to go bust faster, and allow the free market to expose that, and allow the free market to then reallocate the capital to the next investment. A properly capitalized company with a real business. But this is where we're at with PolySign, guys. It really pains me to update the community on this one. I'll continue to update you guys further on any other information that we get, but that's what we have for right now. My apologies to everyone that did invest. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Now, let's get into the good news. The good news is that here in the United States of America, well, we're finally doing a deal. U.S. House approves Crypto Fit 21 bill with wave of Democratic support. So we did get some Democrats to show up here. Let's take a look at it. How many did we end up getting here? And this is what I've been talking about here, folks. Do you see this ad right here on CoinDesk? This is Grayscale promoting the Grayscale Ethereum Mini Trust. See, it's no longer us having to push this thing. We got Wall Street pushing this thing all over the place. So 71 Democrats and 208 Republicans voted in favor of the bill versus 3 Republicans and 133 Democrats who voted against it. Now it moves on over to the Senate. We'll see what happens here. We'll be following it closely. What happens after the legislators do pass laws is then the banks flip the switch, which is exactly what's happening in Japan right now. And we talked about this in regards to Brad Garlinghouse's most recent interview with Bloomberg, where he highlights SBI, their partnership, and banks and institutions in Japan working to get licenses. We see this article right here from asia.nikkei.com and shared here by Tranglo, which is a Ripple on-demand liquidity partner. Japanese megabanks back new stablecoin initiative for cross-border business settlements. They are going live. They are flipping the switch. You absolutely love to see it. Back home in the United States of America, well, we got billionaire entrepreneur Michael Saylor giving a $13 million Bitcoin price prediction on CNBC today. I shared this because I just love sharing how the Bitcoin bros are allowed to talk about $13 million Bitcoin, Van Eck CEO talking about $3 million Bitcoin. They're allowed to talk about crazy price predictions, but God forbid I talk about XRP going to 420. Right? My most recent video, which wasn't even my prediction. It wasn't anybody in the XRP community's prediction. It was Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph predicts a 420 XRP, and everybody, gets all offended and worked up over a $4 XRP video. It was rather hilarious because it used to take me doing a $10,000 XRP video or a 589 XRP video to get everybody offended and worked up and canceling me and smashing the thumbs down and leaving an aggressive comment, which I like. I do appreciate. If you're mad at me, please leave a comment down below and tell me how mad you are. If you love me, you can tell me how much you love me too. That's great. I love the hate. I love the love. We love it all because we love free speech, and I'm a big boy and I can take it. So once again, it used to take 10,000 XRP prediction. It used to, and I've done this in the past, and it is what it is, right? Because when somebody puts out a crazy prediction, we got to cover it. And so I'm going to put it in the title. When somebody puts out a $3,000 XRP price prediction, we got to cover it. And in all of those videos, we got everybody worked up. Now I put out a $4 XRP, 420. And everybody, of course, I set it up like that. Everybody, what are you smoking? Like my mentor Dan Pena says, what are you smoking? Give me some of that crap. I want to hallucinate too. That's what he says. And I love the story of my mentor Dan Pena. The one time that Sally, his wife, and his assistant, they got him to take a edible little cookie or something when they were in Amsterdam. I love that story. He talks about how they went to some nice restaurant and he just kept on eating plate after plate of food. And I can't imagine seeing Dan stoned. You know what I'm saying? He's just a beast all the time, always on one. And to think of him, I can only imagine, but I digress. The point being, guys, is we're now here at a point where Wall Street, Michael Saylor, they're all pumping it up. And they're pumping it up more so than I do, right? If you watch my XRP exit strategy video, some of you guys might be surprised to see at what targets I'm looking at taking some profit on XRP. And the reason why I'm doing so is because there's so much pent-up demand to sell this asset. But with that being said, there's also people that say, we'll never go to $4. That's what's so funny, is that in the same video talking about a 420 XRP, I got folks saying, we'll never go to $4. And at the same time, I got folks saying, XRP is a failure if it only goes to $4 this bull run. And that's exactly why we're going to go to $10 and then come back down. It's because of that attitude right there. We're going to go up. There's going to be a lot of people that do not sell. And there's going to be even more. There's going to be a whole heck of a lot of people that offload their whole bag at $5, at $2, right? I know you guys can let me know in the comments down below what price you will be exiting XRP at. Or maybe you won't be exiting XRP at all. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Appreciate you guys' comments, questions. I see Missy just dropped a 10 spot. Really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. XRP Blinder showing up. 5 spot for sake of tradition. Good to see everyone. God bless. God bless you, brother. So many familiar faces in the chat tonight. Chat is lit. Love to see it. Hope you guys are having a good... Hey, by the way, I did pour up a little bit of the secret sauce tonight. God bless you all. Now, let's take a look here. This is an interesting metric, data point that I'm going to be watching here closely. Psychedelic on X says, I'm 95% confident that we have bottomed here at 52.5. So he's saying that he's confident that we bottomed at 52,000. Now I'm going to say this real quick. My timeline has been flooded. It's like my algorithm has been flooded with all sorts of crypto bros saying that the bottom is in on Bitcoin. And I've seen this in the past. It's like the narrative gets put out, the market makers activate all these little bots, and you get all these accounts, and you can't even tell if they're real or not, but they come out of the woodworks, and they all are saying the same thing. I'm 90% confident that we bottomed out here. I'm almost positive that we've, bottomed out here. I'm positive that we won't go any lower than 48,000. And I'm seeing all of those posts, famous last words, those types of posts. But the reason why I'm showing you this post is because I'm going to be watching this metric closely through this next bull run. And I think that we all should take a look at it. Whether or not we bottom out at 52.5 or whether we will see 44,000. Some folks think that we're going to do a lot worse. I don't think that we're going to go that far. But let's just read off this post. Psychedelic says, I am 95% confident that we have bottomed here at 52.5 and 95% confident that we will not see anywhere near 44,000 whatsoever. What is he looking at? He's looking at the Tether dominance chart. Is one of the most reliable charts to predict Bitcoin tops and reversals. Currently, USDT dominance is at levels not seen since the bear market when Bitcoin was trading at 27,000. Now, while we trade in this speculative market that still allows Tether to run freely, this is a metric, this is a chart that I do think that we should watch. As long as Tether is allowed to prop up Bitcoin, something to watch, and the rest of the crypto market for that matter. The chart is also at a very key resistance, touching levels that have only existed within bear markets. We have also over a 30% plus move to the downside on USDT dominance until it reaches the trend line that has predicted every Bitcoin top with 100% accuracy. That's why I'm showing you guys this chart, is because I'm not so much concerned about where we're going to go on the downside. I already got my target set for buying more XRP, for looking at some of these other assets. It's not so much I'm concerned about the downside. I do think that we get more. But I'm going to be looking at this chart to predict when Bitcoin is going to top out and when the altcoin season will begin. That's why this chart's going to be important. This adds a serious amount of confluence to the bottoming pattern that Bitcoin is printing. For Bitcoin to reach 44,000, USDT dominance would have to enter areas that have only been seen in true bear markets. Or, as I'm expecting, maybe some sort of black swan market crash. Japan carry trade unwind is not 75% done like JP Morgan says. That's a bold-faced, flat-out lie. Dishonest as always, just like JP Morgan's standard procedure. And so that's the type of event where I think that we could see that wick that brings us below 52.5, our current levels right now. We're watching on the edge of our seat right now as we speak. Now, this is the chart right here. You guys see it. This bottom trend line on this tether dominance chart shows us every single time Bitcoin is topped out. That's why I'm going to be watching this one closely as we go in through the rest of this bear market. Now, we could still see there's nothing stopping us from going higher here on this chart, meaning Bitcoin's going to go lower, right? But we're going to be watching this closely as we see a reversal, and we do expect to go back towards this trend line. And this is something that's going to be happening towards the end of this year into next year. Now, I want to show you this next chart here from 360 Trader. Altcoins, we've seen this all before. It's not new and it's not rocket science. When that Bitcoin tops out, this is when we start to roll into alt season. We've seen this time and time before. This is nothing new. And right now where we're at is where we get the mass capitulation event. And funny enough, how many times did I show you guys in the past, 5-6 months, the run up that we got through 2019 before we got cleaned out in March of 2020? Right? A 250% fake bull market. How many times did I show you guys this chart? I figured that you guys got tired of seeing it, so I stopped showing it. And I said, we don't have to have a March 2020 liquidation event to get clean back out. Now, when we go back to our Bitcoin chart, we do see that we got it. We do see that we got it, didn't we? With that move all the way down here to 48,000. I said, watch for us to go set a new top when Donald Trump goes to the Bitcoin conference and we go have a party and he says that we're not going to sell our Bitcoin, we're going to hold our Bitcoin, and everybody gets excited. That's going to be the top. What happened next? 48,000 Bitcoin. And we're not done. We continue to set lower lows and lower highs. We go back to it. We see that we then get the real bull market and we get the altcoin high coming in thereafter. After Bitcoin tops out, then we see the altcoins top out. This moment right here, this is when everybody was losing faith in crypto. In fact, in March of 2020, we thought it was the end of the world. Kind of like we, feel right now. World War III, Civil War back in the United States, election chaos, mass capitulation on XRP. XRP's never going to do anything. Do you remember how low XRP went during this moment? 10 cents. And I've shared this story in the past. I didn't buy XRP at 10 cents because I was being greedy and because I was also being scared, thinking that the end of the world was here. So I didn't buy XRP at $10 because I was going to go buy it 5 cents. Or sorry, I didn't buy it 10 cents because I wanted to buy it 5 cents. I thought the end of the world was here, which wasn't going to stop me from buying more XRP, despite it being the end of the world and us going into a lockdown and everything. I was still going to buy some more XRP. It wasn't going to stop me there. But I was greedy and I was scared. I was fearful. I knew things were bad, but I thought they were going to get worse. And I was being greedy. And I did the math. I pulled out my calculator. Okay, if I allocate this much towards XRP at 10 cents, I'm going to get this much XRP. But if I wait till 5 cent XRP comes in, I'm going to get this much more. 5 cent XRP never came. 10 cents was the bottom. And then after that, XRP went to $2. Now, typically we say that XRP missed the last bull run. But if you picked up XRP at 10 cents or even 20 cents, like I did, at 30 cents, like we did, at sub 50 cents, like we did, and then you ran that sucker up to $1.50, $2. I mean, you 3x'd and you 4x'd and you 5x'd and you did pretty dang good. Now, I didn't take profits because I'm not taking profits till XRP goes to a new all-time high. I refuse to sell this asset till it goes to a new all-time high. I believe that this bull run, XRP is going to come back and it's going to match, it's going to trade, it's going to trade more closely to that 2017 fractal versus what we did this last bull run, which is exactly what I'm going to show you here in this last chart of the evening, which is this one here from Ty Lee. Now, when we zoom in, he says the biggest difference I've noticed is the time frame difference. It has taken almost 2.5 times longer to print the ABC pattern. But the fractal remains the same, and I believe price action will behave similar to 2017 bull run. So we have yet another technical analysis shared here, lining us up, following along that fractal in 2017. And you see that really the consolidation does come all the way back here to 2020, the high of 2021. We've been in that same wedge since. That's consolidation that actually, it's interesting. If you measure it back to the previous all-time high, right, we're going back almost 6 years since XRP's hit its all-time high. An asset consolidating for 6 years, ready to break out, ready to participate in this bull run. Looks like a good time to me. Where are my targets set on the downside? I'm going to be looking at buying at 45-cent XRP. That's where I'm at. I'm right in here. 45-cent XRP right here. That's where I'm going to be looking to make my move. That's my next buy order for XRP. On the top side, I see Shannon also dropped us some Canadian funny money in the chat. Cheers to the crew in the chat tonight. Hey, Shannon, I appreciate you. Love you guys so much. I laid out my sell targets on the upside in my Patreon exclusive. I'm not going to be sharing it publicly because I don't want to be caught up in a mess where a bunch of immature people say, oh, Zach, you said you were going to sell here. And so I did. And I'm mad that I did. I'm sad that I did. I just don't want to open myself up to that. That's why I'm only sharing it for my private group. In my private group, everybody there's adults. Everybody there puts their big boy pants on and their big girl pants on, or their big whatever they want to call themselves pants on. We don't really have any silly stuff like that in my group, but you get my point. Is I don't have to worry about somebody saying, oh, Zach, you said this. I've always been clear. I'm not here to give anybody financial advice, but I am going to be probably one of the most honest and open and transparent, quote unquote, influencers in this space. I don't see anybody else that shares really as much as I do. I really don't. As far as personal holdings, personal strategy, personal business moves, personal opinions on everything under the sun. And I don't see anybody else. I know nobody else that has my size of community that doesn't have any sponsors. I know that for a fact. I have not found anybody with my size of community. We have over 400,000 people in our community combined. And every single person with this big of a community has all sorts of sponsors that control what they say. I don't have any of that. I'm free. I'm liberated. And I like being in this position because I can sip on my bourbon and I can speak freely. And I also can admit when I've been wrong. Now, what have we been wrong about? We've been wrong about the XRP timeline. We thought we were going to go to these targets last bull run. That's why I've adjusted my strategy. I say, okay, I was wrong. Now, where folks get confused and where the haters come out and they say, oh, you've been wrong, you've been so wrong, this and that and that. What they miss is that, and I said this in last night's live show too, just because we've been wrong on timeline does not mean that any part of our fundamental thesis has been invalidated. In fact, all of our fundamental thesis is still intact. All of our fundamental thesis is still in play. But as I've always said, XRP is just part of my strategy. I've diversified my income. I've diversified my investments. I'm going to continue to diversify my investments further, not by buying a bunch of different cryptos. I'm not interested in a bunch of different cryptos. But what I am interested in and what I will be reallocating towards is private equity, is real estate, and I'll be investing in myself. That's where I've gotten big returns in the past, is investing in myself and in my business. That's where I've gotten the best returns by far. And going forward, I pointed out a couple holes in my portfolio, in my investments, in my exit strategy update that I did provide. And I will tell you guys, one of those that I'm lacking completely is I don't have any investments. I don't have any assets that pay me out dividends, cash flow, or yield other than the assets that I've deployed to the AMM on the XRP ledger. The assets that I've deployed into the AMM, they pay out a yield, right? I get my fees for providing liquidity, but I don't have any dividend paying stocks. I don't have any real estate that provides cash flow. I do have my property service business. I don't work in that business. I manage and I sell the work for that business. So is that passive income? I laugh about that. There ain't a dang thing that's passive about that. But, I have worked to a point where I don't have to go work a shovel. I don't have to go mow a yard, right? I have my crews that do that. And, that business is very successful. I can go on a vacation and that business is still making me money. But I don't just stop there. I have my media business as well too. But once again, that's an active income. That's not passive. And so one of the things that I am missing, and I shared this in my XRP exit strategy, is I shared the spreadsheet that I created. I created a spreadsheet, very simple spreadsheet, where I laid out all of my liabilities, all of my debts. I laid out my sources of income, my various businesses, how much free cash flow they produce. That gives me my net worth. That gives me my disposable income on a monthly basis that I have to invest. And then from that point, I can create my exit strategy. But in my asset column, I have equity positions in my business. I have XRP. I have silver. I have some other assets. But what I don't have is anything that's paying me passive income. That's why when I take profit on XRP, I'm going to be looking at building out my real estate portfolio. And then I'm also going to be looking at private equity down the road. But private equity doesn't pay a dividend. Private equity doesn't pay a yield, right? So what I'm looking at starting out with is in the real estate investment portfolio, I can start to build assets that produce cash flow no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing, or no matter whether I even exist exist in the flesh in this reality, right? Meaning if I do pass on, if my time does come on, we can pass on some assets that continue to produce cash flow for the family. That's what I'm missing, right? I got income. I got some assets, equity positions. I want to start to build out some of the passive income. So that's where I'm looking at moving on next. I'm interested to hear from you guys in the comments, though, where you guys are going to be investing your XRP profits, where you guys are going to be investing your crypto profits from this bull run. Let me know in the comments down below, and I want to open it up for Q&A. We have about 17 minutes to go. It'll bring us to the hour mark, so let's run up a session here, Q&A. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys have an adult beverage or something nice to sip on while we go through it. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves, and let's get it rocking and rolling. Peaceful Gamer says, I've stopped believing things like Flare or the AMM will pump XRP. Well, they haven't been scaled up. Flare hasn't even gone live with the F assets yet. They're still in testing. They're moving slow. I'm very disappointed with Hugo. I'm very disappointed with Flare. I still own Flare. And despite all that, I'm still looking at actually maybe buying some more Flare because I think that there's a good opportunity to pick it up right now at these prices and ride it up this bull run and absolutely dump all of it. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I plan on dumping all of my cryptos this bull run besides XRP. I do plan on holding a large amount of XRP still. Not as much as I originally planned, but I'm still going to hold XRP. Every other crypto, I'm planning on dumping this bull run, though. I'll be honest with you guys. But, you know, to see the AMM actually pump XRP, we need a lot more liquidity. And what's important, though, is that we've set up the tool. And I was talking about this in last night's live show, too. It's like folks expect, okay, Ripple announces that they want to explore smart contracts, and folks expect XRP to pump that day. XRP is not going to pump that day. XRP is not going to pump the day that the smart contracts do go live. XRP is going to move based off of years of value coming into our ecosystem. It's going to move off of, you know, billions upon hopefully trillions of dollars in liquidity coming to the XRP ledger. Our AMM only has like $13 million of value locked up. That ain't going to do anything for XRP yet, but it's the start. So, Peaceful Gamer, I appreciate that comment. It's important to understand. Killing it with that magnetic crypto port. Okay, and I'm going to write that down because I need to do an AMM update, and I don't want to forget that. AMM update. You guys let me know in the comments down below. What other videos do I need to put out right now? You know, I feel like the wind's been kind of, you know, taken out of us in the XRP community. A lot of people are tired of XRP content. Like I said, I do a $4, 420 XRP prediction video. Everybody's like mad at me. Like, okay. So what else do you guys want to see? What other content should I be making right now? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, exactly, Peaky. We are still so early and folks don't get that. Okay, here we go. MRCR says, Zach Rector, why don't you explain in a video where and how to set up AMM for people that don't know yet? I got you. I got you covered. Type into your search bar on YouTube, how to XRP AMM, which is not the proper way to explain that. It's the XRP Ledger AMM. But because I tried to tweak out the algorithm, I typed in, or I put into my title, how to XRP AMM. So just look that up into YouTube and you will find a tutorial that I have put out for everybody to see me putting assets and basically providing liquidity to the AMM in real time. And you can see in the video, I mess up and I'm still able to do it in like 3 minutes. I mean, it literally took me like 2 minutes to do it. I made a mistake and I was able to figure it out and then deploy my liquidity, and it was like 2 minutes. Now, the full video is like 20 minutes because I explained the full process. But just type into your search bar, how to XRP AMM, and I got you covered. And make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I'm going to be updating you with an AMM update. That's going to be coming later this week. Because I don't even know if I've made any money, if I've lost money. I don't know. I said it at the time when I put my money into the AMM. I said, guys, I'm doing this for the greater good of the XRP ledger. I'm providing liquidity. I don't know if this will work. I don't know if it'll go to zero. But I want our community to win. I want the XRP Ledger ecosystem to win. So I'm going to sacrifice some casino coin. So I threw casino coin at it. I bought some magnetic because at the time magnetic was the #1 AMM liquidity pool. And what have I done? I've done casino coin. I've done magnetic. I don't know if I've done any others. Milton says, keeping crypto scammers out video, how to be careful not to get scammed. Some subscribers got scammed over at the Stable Crew. Yes, there is no such thing as QFS wallets. There is no such thing as a QFS ledger. The QFS system is not live. The quantum financial system is not live. I will never ask you to send money. I will never ask you to do anything. The only way to get in touch with me, ZachRector.com. I will not DM you. I do not send DMs. I'm about to delete my, and see, I got Facebook and Instagram on there. I'm about to delete those because I never post over there and because people are getting confused over there. So Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, deleted. I'm deleting them tomorrow. I don't care to have them. I don't use them. And it's just scammers. I will not DM you on any platform. I will not tell you to move your assets to a QFS wallet. There is no such thing. God, it really just makes me so mad. It really ticks me off. We've lost an unspeakable amount of money to these scammers. People that are using my name, people that are using other influencers' names. The only place to get in touch with me is ZachRector.com. It's the only place. And you're going to have to send me an email. If you get into my Discord group, you can message me there. But you still have to verify in there. We have people that buy memberships. They buy access to my Discord to try to get in and scam my community. I have eyes and ears everywhere on every platform. We have moderators on YouTube, TikTok, X, within the Discord group. We block them, we report them, we do everything that we can, but please stay safe out there. There is no QFS ledger, there is no QFS wallets. Can you provide one asset rather than pair on the AMM? I heard that was possible. Peaceful Gamer, yes it is. You can do single-sided deposits. You will not get the best rate though. Because what's going to happen if you deploy XRP to a liquidity pool, it's going to sell off a portion of your XRP so that it can split the liquidity between both sides. So if you got XRP Casino Coin, you deposit XRP single-sided, it's going to sell off half the asset to deploy it into Casino Coin. Watch out for the scammers, guys. And this is why I don't say you need to use this wallet. You need to use this exchange. When everybody asks me, hey, which wallet do you recommend? I say, hey, I have a couple wallets listed on my website. You need to use what you're comfortable with. And there's multiple different wallets that you can use. When it comes to exchanges, well, look at which jurisdiction your exchanges are available. Look at which cryptos you want to buy. Some exchanges don't offer the cryptos that you may want to buy. And set up as many options as you want, but I would recommend having at least a few. In my XRP exit strategy video, I laid out the 3 different exchanges that I'm going to be selling my XRP on this bull run. Has anybody invested in the Island Project? Christopher Green, AMTV. Ted, that's funny that you mentioned that. Okay. This is, this is the tough part about my job. And I say the tough part about my job is that folks ask me, hey, what do you think about this person? Hey, what do you think about this deal? And I can only be honest. I cannot be one of those guys that just says, oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, that's great. There's a lot of people out here that just want to be friends with everybody. And there's a lot of influencers that are so dang broke that they'll accept anybody that will give them a little checky check. And so they'll push whatever crap pays them. For me, I can't do that. I will never do that. And when I look at a lot of these projects, oh yeah. Now, in my community, we've talked about buying an island together. That's something that we've talked about doing together, where I chip in, you chip in, we all chip in. We have some fun. And maybe Christopher Green's project is like that. But the antics that I've seen from Christopher Green lead me to believe that this is a man that is willing to sell his soul, which is interesting. The guy uses Christ, uses God a lot to push his narratives, to garner attention and to push his products. He's willing to sell his soul. And I say that because the ridiculous things that he's done to push XRP and other projects. There's a lot of snake oil salesmen out here. And a lot of them are slick. They're good-looking guys. They speak good. Good-looking guys and gals. They look good. They speak good. Some of them don't even look good and they don't even speak good, but they got something to sell you too. But with that being said, there's just a lot of crap out here that people are trying to push at you. That's just the truth of the matter, guys. There's a lot of crap out here. But I will say, it is funny to watch, just like KK says. Peaky says, I thought I was the designated grill master for our island. Who was bringing the Traeger? We are bringing a Traeger to the island. That's for dang sure. And I was just thinking of digital asset investor. I crack up every time he talks about smoking the pork butt. That always cracks me up. I could never get tired of listening to DAI talking about smoking the pork butt. I want to go to Georgia. I want to go to the East Coast and go see some of our friends over there. Florida. I know we got so many community members in Florida. You guys are crazy in Florida, but I am going to come see you guys eventually. Okay? Yeah. Dennis, I don't want to miss your super chat. Appreciate you, brother. The Ripple business plan has been changing all along. They have made mistakes. Nobody knows today. The future value, 10,000. Oh, goodness gracious, Dennis. Dennis, come on. You can't mention 10,000 XRP. You cannot mention that. Darn it. Dennis said it, not me. Dennis said it, not me. But the evidence implies a big number that also has changed, unknown over time. And that's something that I made clear in my XRP exit strategy video, is that my conviction in XRP going to high prices has not changed. It's just a matter of my expectations for this bull run and my expectations for the timeline have changed. And the timeline has changed. So it would only be foolish to not change my strategy and my expectations based off of a timeline that has changed. We didn't go to $5 last bull run. We didn't go to $10 last bull run. We didn't go to $20 last bull run. We didn't go to 589 last bull run. And I was worried. You want to pin something on me? You want to say I'm guilty of thinking that XRP was going to go to 589 last bull run? Now, I wasn't banking on that, but did I have a little bit of concern that XRP might go do something crazy? I did. And I do have some concern that XRP may still go to some of those higher price targets. I absolutely do. If you want to pin that on me, you can. I wear that on my sleeve happily. Guilty as charged. That's why I've been stacking XRP. Continue to stack XRP. But the timeline has changed. The data in front of us has changed. Ripple's business model has changed. Has it gotten worse? See, this is what we have to hone in on. Dennis, I'm glad that you brought this up. Has Ripple's business plan changed? Yes. Has it gotten worse? No. And I laugh at everybody thinking that, oh, Ripple's pivoting. Ripple's pivoting from payments. No, they're not. They are dialing in payments. They're growing liquidity on the AMM. And I think that they're about to explode liquidity on the AMM when they launch that RLUSD. But it hasn't gotten worse. It's only gotten better. So if Ripple's business model has gotten better, and the part that has, been expanded in Ripple's business, what does it mean for XRP? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Is more liquidity coming to the XRP ledger bullish for XRP? Are legitimate stablecoins coming to the XRP bullish for XRP? Yes, absolutely. So, like I said, despite the timeline shifting, our thesis is still intact. Our thesis is still validated. Our fundamentals, you go down the checklist. You still check the box. Is liquidity still growing? Yes. Is Ripple still using XRP? Yes. Is Ripple growing on-demand liquidity? Yes. Is Ripple getting new partners to use XRP? Yes. Are people using XRP that have nothing to do with Ripple? Yes. Is the XRP ledger, now we have an AMM? Yes. Are we about to get on-chain native lending? Yes. Are we about to get decentralized identity? Yes. Are we about to get an EVM sidechain? Yes. Are we about to have a sidechain standard established to the EVM sidechain? Yes. Is Ripple about to set a standard for stablecoins and real-world assets on the XRP ledger? Yes. Are all of those points bullish for XRP? You guys let me know in the comments down below. That's what I'm saying. I get it. I'm worn out too. I'm so worn out with this XRP, this dang asset. If my kids don't give me gray hair, XRP will. But everything's still in play. Everything's still intact. Dennis drops another 2 spot. I think the RLUSD is like tripping over a pot of gold. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if Ripple does it as good as Tether, it's 10 billion profit per year. How do you value a company at 7 billion when they're about to launch a source of revenue that could generate them 7 billion profit per year, 10 billion profit per year? How can said company be valued at 7 billion? It's because it's a private company that's discounted on the private equity market. Now, hey, Ripple could pull, maybe, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it, because we just saw what happened with PolySign. Things can go to zero. Is there any way that Ripple goes to zero? I do not think so. Tom Thumb comes in with a massive 20 spot, and he says, does anybody remember laughter? Tom, I've been having a good time, man. I think that we've been having a good laugh tonight, haven't we? Well, that's what happens when I sip on some bourbon. When I sip on the bourbon, I'm swaying my chair back and forth. I'm cracking some jokes. We're having a good time. I make fun of myself. I make fun of you guys. We make fun of ourselves as a community. I laughed when Cointelelie put out that post this weekend, XRP to 420. I was laughing because I'm like, man, our community has become a meme. You know what I'm saying? Cointelegraph, XRP is going to go to 420. It is a meme, Let it be a meme. Look at what memes have done for Solana, As much as we want to make fun and have a joke and have a laugh, what Ripple's doing on the back end is the most serious business that's happening in the cryptocurrency space. I've been talking about this for years. What Ripple's doing is serious business. What the rest of the space is doing is a joke. Now, Mancornis says, I live in Seattle, want to move out. Where? Well, don't move up to where I live, because we got enough of you Seattle folks. We got enough of you Californians, and we got enough of you Canadians buying real estate in my neck of the woods. So don't come to where I'm at. And I say that kind of jokingly, because if you're here on my channel watching my show, I probably wouldn't mind having you move up to my neck of the woods, because we're getting all the crazies moving up here. We get all the crazies with cash. They sell their house in California for $3 million. They come up here and they buy, they sell their house down there in California for $1 million. They come up here. They sell their place up in Canada, or they pull equity out of their house in Canada and they come on down to my neck of the woods and they buy up my property. And here I am, stuck as a renter, which I joke about because I'm fine. I'm totally fine where we're at right now. We're positioned with cash ready to swoop up a deal here. Dang Canadians, dang Californians. And we got the Seattle folks moving out too. Final comments, questions of the evening as I take my final sips of the secret sauce. Will you have a special video after you sell everything and made millions? That's why I put out my XRP exit strategy video now, is because I want everybody to understand and be very clear that when XRP is at $5 and I'm running a 24/7 live show and we are just going nuts and losing our minds, and I'm not leaving the stream and we're just going crazy, I want everybody to know what I've done on the back end. I want to be very clear. I don't want anybody to say, oh, wow, you were pumping us up and going crazy, but then you sold. I'm going to say, yeah, I told everybody I was going to sell. I was very clear. And it's just, I feel like I owe that to my community that comes to me as a source of information and news and gets to learn from me. I want to be open, transparent, and honest with you guys. I don't want there to be any confusion. Oh, Zach, you talked about XRP going to all these high prices, but then you sold at this price. How could you do that? And I'm going to say, because I predicted, and I let everybody know my prediction, that XRP is going to go crazy this bull run, but then it's going to have a correction. I'm going to take profits when it goes up. I'm going to buy back in. And with said profits, I'm going to set some aside for taxes. I'm going to set some aside to buy more XRP. I'm going to try to buy my XRP bag back. And then with leftover cash, I'm going to go buy real estate. Because I've been buying XRP since 2018 when I was a single young fella. And now I'm about to turn 30. I got a family. It's a different spot. We're on a different timeline. And you know, the thing about it, like I said, I don't think that folks need to beat themselves up for selling at these levels. If you have a plan to reaccumulate, if you have a plan to trade, or if you just have something that you know you need to deploy or reallocate your profits to. Maybe you're going to take profits and pay off your student loans. You're going to pay off your mortgage. And some people would say, oh, why would you do that when XRP is going to go to this price, or, XRP is going to do this, and you only have to make your payment on this debt, or whatever the case may be. But for some people, getting out of debt might be what saves their life. It might be, starting their business might be what gives them a purpose in life. Starting their business should give them better returns than any investments. If you're doing business right. This is what few people understand. So few people understand this. If you're doing business right, it shouldn't even be close compared to your investments. That would be a crazy live stream. It's coming, Shannon. It's coming. Now, I will not be able to drink the secret sauce bourbon on a 24/7 live stream. Probably going to have to go from water to coffee to adult beverages, back to water, back to coffee. Keep it rolling. Keep it rocking. Yeah. Let's just hope that the unrealized capital gains doesn't happen. That would suck, Shannon. There's no way in hell that it passes. There's just no way. Now, maybe up in Canada where you're at, Canada loves shooting themselves in the foot. Then we could see something like that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this session. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight. I really do appreciate everybody for stopping by here. If you guys haven't already, please make sure that you have subscribed, hit that notification bell. If you're looking to get in touch with me or get tapped in with any of our community resources, it's all available at zachrector.com. Like I said, I just dropped an update there exclusive for the Patreon on my XRP exit strategy. If you're looking to see that, you can actually buy that now. So Patreon just made it available where you can buy individual posts without having to sign up for a monthly membership. So if you're tired of monthly memberships, you got Netflix, you got all the other subscriptions, right? And you don't want to sign up for my Patreon, you don't have to. You can actually just buy the individual post. And so I made our Saturday Discord weekly call. That's available for purchase. And I also made my XRP exit strategy available for purchase as well, too. So if you want to try it out, see what happens in the Patreon Discord community, it's there for you guys. If you're already in the community, well, you get access to everything. I've been dropping everything for the community there. But once again, guys, I couldn't do it without you guys. I really could not. So thank you for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. Had a lot of fun tonight. Going to be dropping some content tomorrow. I had to play catch up tonight. I didn't drop any videos earlier today. So that's why I had to fire up a late night live session and get caught up to speed. But you can expect some more videos dropping tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Hope you guys have a great evening, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't already, make sure you smack it, tap it, hit it some sort of way or fashion on the way out. Really do appreciate you guys. It's been a pleasure. See you tomorrow.